What's poppin', y'all? Just a couple of days ago, you saw that we covered Tory Lanez' team and the people that are arguing on behalf of him, including a congresswoman, presented 36hourslater.com, which was a play on them saying that new evidence would surface in 36 hours. And really, we didn't get much new evidence other than body cam footage that we hadn't seen, although that had already been in discovery in the case. It was new to some fans or people that really weren't paying attention, and it was new in the sense that it was the first time we were seeing it, but it wasn't something groundbreaking that was going to get him out. Now, was it going to help public perception? For sure. And already, we got Roc Nation's team scrambling. So the lawyer for Megan Thee Stallion, Alex Spiro, he did a response to this the next day when they dropped 36 hours later, because the reason why I thought this site was beautiful, and you should check down in the comments below, I'll have link to me looking through that site and all of the evidence, is that it lays out the entire storyline, not unbiasedly at all, of course, in favor of Tory Lanez, in a way that someone can follow the story and deduce what happened, as opposed to back then, where Tory Lanez really couldn't speak. He had a gag order back in 2020, and we were just getting different outlets, different social media influencers, people really jumping on the side of Megan Thee Stallion off rip because, hey, a celebrity said that you shot her. They're looking at it like, oh, what's going on here? But Alex Spiro replies the next day, and he's after 36 hours later, and he says on May 29th, Tory Lanez' team can't keep a story straight. Last week, they argued that Kelsey Harris shot Megan, and now they're claiming that Megan only stepped on glass. They continue to rehash old evidence from trial and repackage it as new information to desperately sway public opinion. There was no new evidence displayed today, simply a sad attempt from Tory's team to copy our presentation format to peddle misinformation. It's embarrassing that Florida Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna is integrating herself into the California criminal justice system for clickbait. Instead, she should be focused on serving her own constituents in Florida rather than chasing celebrities. This stuff does get a bit higher level, and by higher level, I don't mean it's difficult to understand, but you kind of got to work up the totem pole, because Alex Spiro was Megan Thee Stallion's lawyer. Megan Thee Stallion got on the stand, started pointing Tory out, but they won. So why does the lawyer keep talking? And this isn't the first time he spoke. So when he says that they copied our presentation format, this is referring to May 22nd, when this is before 36 hours later, when Tory's team just started talking about and getting motion, especially on the 300,000 plus signature that they had on that petition, and all of these other celebrities. Let's not forget Amber Rose, who I will play a clip from right now, that has been screaming free Tory and saying that he's innocent from the rooftops.
Joining me now, influencer, TV personality, musical muse, Amber Rose, and now social justice advocate. Amber, thank you. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. What do you want people to know about why you are advocating for Tory Lanez?
I'm advocating for Tory Lanez because the evidence shows that he's innocent, and he deserves to be pardoned by Governor Gavin Newsom. You know, he's 100% exonerated from the gun, and for that alone, he should be home with his family.
Well, the DNA showed that it could have been any of four people, but he sent the text apologizing, and Megan Thee Stallion and her friend Kelsey there that night said it was him. What do you do with that?
Well, I heard the whole story from Tory's mouth. He called me personally from prison, and I now understand why he said sorry, and it's not for any shooting at all. So I'll let him tell that story when he comes home, but the sorry was not for what people think it was for.
So Amber Rose is a really good example, and why it frightens Alex Spiro and the people on Megan Thee Stallion's side, in particular when it comes to PR, because Amber Rose, and I'm about to say Amber Heard, I don't know why, but Amber Rose had a strong foothold in the SLUT like movement, like feminist movement. So she had been building that up for 8 to 10 years during her time. And now she's a little bit more, I wouldn't say like center, but she's pivoted her views a bit. But for her to come out, and somebody that's consistently fought for women and women's rights, to be on Tory's side and against Megan Thee Stallion, that doesn't look good. On top of all of these other celebrities, this is bad for business. Megan Thee Stallion is not in any legal trouble whatsoever, at least not for now. I don't think she will be unless she perjured herself on the stand. But on May 22nd, they released a 31-page slideshow that denounces all the alleged new evidence that they felt was going to be presented. So they create, keep in mind, Megan Thee Stallion, who won the case. Like, Tory was prosecuted, he was found guilty. Her legal team creates a Google slide that's 31 pages that they give out to press outlets like Pop Crave and all of these other websites to distribute, to tell everyone like, hey, by the way, there was overwhelming evidence of Mr. Peterson's guilt. Now, isn't that odd to you? It's like, yo, he was convicted. He's guilty. This was over years ago. Why are you trying to present to the public opinion that he's guilty again? He was convicted in court, which is the most important thing to them, or it should be the most important thing. But it's not all about that. And this is why I said, like, Megan Thee Stallion is terrified right now. And I said the best thing for her to do was to shut up, because she talks. She posted a TikTok where she blocked out all of the comments, and she didn't post it on her Instagram either. She posted it on TikTok. She knew it would be distributed everywhere after that because she needs to keep up her public image. A lot of a rap career is public image. And recently we saw that Megan Thee Stallion just did some swimsuit swim week thing. I didn't even know she had a swim line. Like, hot girl swimwear. Is that new? She's talking about it's her first swim week ever. She's walking down the runway. And then funny enough, the lady Megan Cuniff that was covering this case, giving us real-time updates, who has demonstrated herself to be quite unbiased. She's like, gee, what a coincidence that Megan has a major event this week and Lanez' lobbyist campaign has launched into overdrive. The current journalism that could be done regarding Lanez is not platforming his paid lobbyist campaign that highlights case discovery he's had for years, which is true in this regard. Not the what journalism could be done, but they've had this discovery for years. It's about the prison stabbing. What happened? What is the prison system doing to address this and prevent future violence? She's pivoting. Now, we know that she is in favor of Megan Thee Stallion. This is in contrast to other people that we've seen report. Like, for example, there's this YouTuber, a lawyer, this guy Logic, Lawgic. He's done great coverage of the Diddy case, as well as Inner City Press, who covered, I don't know if he covered the Megan Thee Stallion trial. He usually covers Southern District of New York. I know he did the 6ix9ine one, and he's currently doing Diddy, and he just covers it from a legal perspective. These people have never interjected their own opinions or like, oh, this is fishy, this looks crazy. But for Megan Cuniff, what are they? They're trying to portray Tory Lanez as this all-powerful guy that's the one who is, trying to destroy Megan Thee Stallion. What are you talking about? Megan Thee Stallion won every award that we ever saw in the span of 2+ years. We haven't seen her nominated for everything. We haven't seen her get a solo hit. We don't know what she's doing musically this year. I promise if she had any plans to release music, those have been put on pause and on hold until we figure out what's going to happen next with this Tory Lanez. The reason why her team are constantly responding to this, because keep in mind, they made a presentation first, and then Tory's team puts out 36 hours later, which got a lot more traction, and the footage just hits different. So people start uploading footage of Megan talking about how she got shot, and it sounds like a weird explanation, and then they show her, and this is why footage is so powerful, because people start to look at things differently from how it was reported to them. Like I said, nothing here is new, but when they see Megan Thee Stallion sitting, and she's just concerned about going to jail, and she allegedly had just gotten shot, a lot of people are like, whoa, why is she reacting like that? Why is she not panicking? Why is she so calm? She's not yelling. She's not kicking. She's not screaming. Is this the result of somebody that had just gotten shot? And I'm not saying she did, but this really shifts the perspective of people who are reading headlines back then. And even just reading the explanation and the court documents doesn't present it as well as seeing it with your own eyes. And then hearing her explanations that sound off, and then hearing Sean Kelly, who was at the scene, say one thing to the police and then at court say something else. So people are seeing contradictions no matter what. And that's not to say that Megan Thee Stallion lied, but they are distrusting of the sources now. And Megan Thee Stallion, she's got to shut up. She can't say anything, but her lawyer keeps speaking on her behalf. And the lawyer got their outcome. That's the whole thing. Like, for example, if Tory Lanez was free, he would not be speaking, if his lawyer wouldn't be speaking on anything because he's free. But PR is the battle that they're fighting right now. And Tory Lanez, after just being stabbed 14 times, a lot of people were talking to Megan Thee Stallion like, yo, this guy just got stabbed and you're telling Tory to leave you alone? That was a narrative that was running through social media. They're like, yo, this guy's fighting for his life on an oxygen tank. He got a collapsed lung and you're yelling about being the victim. Like, this is not 4 years ago. And that's why I said Megan Thee Stallion's best interest is to shut up, because you need to approach this with sensitivity at this point. And Alex Spiro's trying to do that. And he is saying like, oh yeah, we just got to let you guys know that they're just putting this in a new way that you've already seen. Like, go look at our presentation. It's as if we're in class. It's a science fair. fair. And we've got, after the outcome has already happened, right? The jury decided who was guilty. And then we've got the person that won. He's like, well, no. You actually got to look at this again, guys. When other people are looking at it like, this science project looks, this one looks pretty nice. Maybe the decision wasn't all right, but that's not going to change the outcome. The public perception will not change whether Tory Lanez is in jail or not. That's like either an appeal or Gavin Newsom has to pardon him. But what I think they're concerned about is if Tory Lanez gets pardoned or if he's able to speak, what he will say. But I don't know if there's much to worry about what he's going to say, because if what happened actually, if what we all believe happened, which is Kelsey fired off them shots, which is what we've thought for the past 4 to 5 years, then Tory Lanez is not going to say that, because then that puts her in trouble. I don't know if the immunity still carries. I don't think it does. So and this is the thing, he could have said that in court, but he chose not to. But if Tory Lanez comes out and there's there's a welcoming party, and if Tory Lanez comes out right now, every single star is cheering him on. They want to work with him. He's going to be flicked up with everybody on the gram. And nobody's going to be wanting to be side by side with Megan Thee Stallion. So they need Tory Lanez in jail. And it also looks like a railroading job by Roc Nation, and all the conspiracies start to sound very true when you put them together if Tory Lanez ends up getting out, especially if he gets pardoned. I think the pardon would be the craziest one. But for the pardon to happen, there's got to be overwhelming support. And I think Megan Thee Stallion lying, doing other people dirty, the best thing that they can do right now is continue to try and wreck Megan Thee Stallion's reputation and get her to speak out. So if they have any stories of former friends, former coworkers, remember how she had gotten, not arrested, she had gotten sued by a former stylist of hers or something like that. Things like that, bringing those things up. If you can get new people to speak ill of her and those headlines keep getting disseminated and she either responds with anger and vitriol emotionally, which she should not do, and that continues to harm her public image, therefore helping Tory Lanez, and her lawyers just keep speaking on her behalf, the lawyers aren't going to sway the public. They don't got clout. That's really all there is to it. Like, they can do stuff in the courtroom and they can do stuff legally, but the people that mess with Tory, mess with Megan, and just mess with the scene in general, they don't care what a lawyer got to say at all. They're like, okay, yeah, you do your job in the courtroom. We're not reading this whole presentation you gave us. She already not got off, but Megan Thee Stallion already put him in jail. So what outcome are you guys looking for as the legal team? Like, this case has been over. And that's the fishy thing about it all. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you think it's fishy that her legal team is constantly addressing this? Like I said, I do believe Megan Thee Stallion is fighting right now a PR war, a PR nightmare. There are people that support her. I would say the general populace supports the outcome of the trial, but that doesn't mean that rap fans and the people that listen to music support Megan Thee Stallion. That's a completely different audience. If you just ask a random person who doesn't even buy Megan Thee Stallion stuff, listen to her, and they're on her side, that doesn't mean anything for her career. But if the people that she needs to work with, the producers, the rappers, etc., if they don't mess with her, then that's dangerous. Like, for example, 6ix9ine, a lot of regular people were like, yeah, he got out of the situation, it is what it is. But in the industry, he got wrecked. Playlists didn't want to put him on. Producers didn't want to work with him, because if anybody that worked with him, it was kind of like a scarlet letter. Nicki Minaj was so big that she didn't care, so she just hopped on and worked with him anyway. But Dirk, really? Dirk not wanting to, or Dirk calling him out and him being ops with Dirk, ruined his opportunity to work with the majority of rappers, because Dirk was scorching hot at the time. Everybody wanted to be close to Dirk or somebody near Dirk, and look at the outcome of that. Now, Gunna, of course, he's somebody that we've seen that was nearly blackballed by, not the industry, like Playlists still supported him, not surprisingly, I would say, but they supported him, his label supported him more than 6ix9ine got support, and that's partially because Gunna didn't gloat and continuously say, he tried to keep it cool and cordial, which I think if 6ix9ine did, he may have been able to curry some favor, but Gunna had to go make some of the greatest music of his life for a year and a half straight, drop a hit or multiple hits, if I recall, to be able to get on. And then Offset was like, okay, I might work with this guy. So that's how long it took Gunna. And do we think that Megan Thee Stallion has what it takes to do what Gunna just did? Come on now. And Megan Thee Stallion right now, is she even in the conversation for female rappers? And what rapping has she been doing lately? Like, we see a Swim Week thing, and music is the primary driver, and she cannot do press. She cannot do interviews because this is going to be at the core of anything. So she's kind of shackled right now where she can't speak or she shouldn't speak, but she can't do press for anything else that involves speaking. And that hurts her because that hurts her business. And on top of that, she can't really drop music because it's going to get clowned to hell and back. And people are going to comment like, yo, why aren't you addressing what's happening right now? Because she's got to address it. But Tory just got stabbed 14 times. So if you address it in any type of way, then people are looking at you like you're evil because this guy almost just died. And regardless of what happened to Megan Thee Stallion, what people are seeing on the video footage looks a lot less brutal than what they saw happen to Tory Lanez in that video footage of him getting poked up so many times. It looks like a scene from the next horror movie we're going to get. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. I think Megan Thee Stallion's in a really tough situation. She's kind of in limbo right now, and her fate is somewhat out of her hands. Either this has to cool off the momentum that Tory's team has, and people just got to stop talking about this and forget about it for several months, and we don't even know if she's going to heat it back up if she drops anything, because that's tied to her career right now. And we thought it was over, and it kind of was for a while, but now everything's changing, even though no new information has been presented, which freaks me out a little bit. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.